Here we are, we're on Unit 4 and we're looking at Learning Outcome 3, which is understand why behaviour and attitudes are important in the business environment. So 3.1, describe why certain characteristics are important in business. So the way you behave is really important, both if you're in work and out of work, because if you're walking around in a uniform of any sort, such as for a particular restaurant chain or what have you, it always sets a bad example. I mean, you hear stories of people hearing staff from, say, fast food restaurants walking around in their uniform, swearing, and you think, it makes me think twice about going to that restaurant, and it must be the one down the road, because that's the most likely place they must work. So you have to be very careful. Most of us travel to and from work, of course, these days more in cars, possibly, than public transport, but you at all times need to realise that you are being judged by the public when you are recognisable as a member of staff for any particular business. So you have to always present yourself in the professional way. Adaptability, and if you want to call it flexibility, is really important. There's no such thing as a job now which you can do for year after year without changes taking place. And these changes are forced upon you both by government, by customers, and by the actual general markets, of course, because with you having competitors who are doing certain things, you have to adapt to do the same things for your customers as they are. So adaptability, think of it as being able to change with what needs to come, what changes need to take place. Assertiveness is one of those skills you develop as you progress in business. It's very important that if you feel that something is right, that you put that point of view over. And to do that, you need to be assertive. But assertiveness is not in any way being pushy or being rude. It's a case of you asserting your own point of view, but also listening to others. Honesty is also important also. Just as you'd expect your employer and your colleagues to be honest with you, you need to be honest with them. Because without honesty, at the end of the day, there will always be conflict. Being respectful to others, again, is as you will be expecting others to respect you. Never assume that your personality will not upset people, because we all have certain characteristics in us which we possibly are not aware of, but others can get upset about. And try and analyze why people are getting upset. If they're getting upset for something what you may be doing, try and change your approach, modify your methodology so that they will be able to communicate better without emotions and feelings getting in the way. And a big part of that is respect. Resourcefulness, again, it's very important. It's so easy to find faults and to find problems and to take all those problems and faults to somebody else who will wave a magic wand and fix. But by being resourceful, you can actually still find issues and you can look at solutions and take that issue together with a solution to a third party and offer both. And that way, not only are you showing that you are aware of your surroundings, you're aware of your job role, but you're also aware of how your job fits within the whole scheme and how you're able to be resourceful in helping what tradition, situations. Well, every business has situations which come about, but you will be able to help in those situations. Let's look again at being assertive, and let's look at what is and what is not the correct means of being assertive. But first of all, let's look at when you need to be assertive. When you're new to a situation, it can be intimidating to feel that you have a point of view. But always remember that being new to a situation gives you that golden card to be able to ask those silly questions. So always think of questioning as the building up to finding your own point of view on the subject or on the situation. Now, when you do get to a situation where you feel you have a point to raise or a valid, procedural change or some sort of suggestion, it is easy to just allow that to slide, or to say nothing, or to say something to your colleagues but not say anything which is going to be taken seriously. It's easy, in other words, to hide. But in business, you really need to develop the skills in your own way of being, to develop skills to talk and communicate with other people, and to be able to put to them your suggestions. And being assertive is just one of those key factors you need. You need to be able to withstand any negativity from other people, and you need to be able to counter mine arguments and be determined. I'm coming back to the other key words we've looked at already. So you need to be able to express your feelings, stating your views. You need to be able to be clear and concise. Okay, but what's assertiveness is not, and just a little list here, is being dominant. Do not take over. It isn't your place to take over. Even when you're amongst a group of peers, allow everyone to communicate and talk and listen to what they say. Don't ignore, because there could be wise information coming to you from other people just the same as you have wise information to pass on to others as well. Don't be rude, belittling anyone else's ideas because they're not your ideas. Don't feel that your ideas are in some way superior. Your ideas could be better, and your ideas are formed by listening to others. Don't manipulate, become members or a member of a clique, or try and deal with get involved in office politics and such things. And never ever do anything which could be construed as bullying, or in such behaviour which could be to intimidate others. It can, in many situations, be illegal in the workplace. So do your research. Don't assume that what you've learned so far is everything there is. Sometimes you may have a point of view because of the information you've already got, but there's often reasons why things are done in certain ways. And with experience, you learn those tricks and techniques yourself. Try and plan ahead. Try and prejudge how situations may develop. Try and, for example, if you're planning for a meeting, try and take a notepad with some ideas, but also a notepad with some questions you may wish to ask others. And questions can be questions which don't worry about asking silly questions. Don't worry about asking questions you don't know the answer to, but you think you should know the answer to. Because there's often somebody else in the same room who's also never asked those questions and will admire the fact that you're asking questions, which proves that you're logically trying to solve a problem. Be clear with what you want. Have already thought out what your solution is, and take, if you can, always a solution to a problem. Try and always be prepared. Some words have very special meanings in a conversation, and one of those words is sorry. If you feel that you've made a genuine mistake, you should always say sorry. But don't say sorry because you feel you've just asked a question which other people know the answer to. That's not a reason to be sorry. That's a good thing. Don't be sorry if you feel that you're delaying the meeting. Again, you need to learn, and others in that room will know you're learning from them by asking these questions. So using power words. If you feel that you can say words like no, showing your determination, that's good. Using words which always have a possibility of yes or no, or could be, should be, possibly in the future type phrases, don't present you as a determined, committed, and empowered employee. Remain calm. You're at work. You're not dealing with a life and death situation. It's easy to feel that your ideas are your children and you need to nourish them and bring them to fruition. But it's not like that in business. You need to be adaptable, as we've looked at. You need to be able to take on board other people's ideas by listening to them and learning from others. So remain calm, don't take it personally. If somebody disagrees with you, they can still be your friend. Don't assume that only people in your camp will be your friend. So remain calm. A good example of dealing with questions and trying to get more information from the person who's disagreeing with you is to ask open questions such as this. So, what makes you say that? Not only are you preventing the responder from just giving you a yes or no, you're also truly trying to understand their point of view. And by doing that, you're simply saying, my point of view at the moment is different to yours, but I would like to understand where you're coming from. Don't decide straight away, especially on those important decisions. Feel free to say the magic words, let me think about that, but genuinely think about it and get back to the person or team. Don't just take that opportunity to allow things to be lost. Keep a log of when being assertive has helped and in what way. Try and fine tune your own techniques to work with the people you work with currently. And remember, different situations may require different techniques in the future. It can also be difficult at first because when you're new to a business, and especially when you're younger, other people who've been there for many years often will give you the impression that they're not listening to you and they're not actually treating you with respect. But over time, you will learn that as you become part of the team, they will listen to you more, but they will also expect more. So always expect that you will be involved more, but you'll also therefore have more responsibilities with that involvement, and you will become your own expert in your own areas.